Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the middle of this Texas Longhorns game against the Arizona State Sun Devils. It's coming down to the wire, 37 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Quinn Ewers and company with the ball at the 50-yard line will bring you the play-by-play live. Ewers slings one over the middle. Texas in business at about the 24-yard line of ASU. Man, I got a lot to say about this one. I'm going to focus on play-by-play for now, y'all. Got a lot to say about this one. Ewers in company at the 24, handoff to Wisner. That one's going to get stuffed at about the 26-yard line. 23 seconds and counting. It looks like they are going to bring this one to about the 3 or 4 second mark, and we will see what happens. Texas actually calls a play here, and they're going to get this one down into the 18. If Bert Auburn cannot hit a 35-yard field goal, I don't know what else to say here. If Bert Auburn cannot hit a 35-yard field goal to win this game, Texas doesn't deserve to win this one. This one fumbled away, in my opinion, from the start of the fourth quarter. I mean, Quinn Ewers scores that touchdown, and here we are. We are tied 24-24. Never needed to get to this spot. It really didn't. It never needed to get here. And yet it comes down to Bert Auburn kicking a field goal to win the game and send Texas to the semifinals. I am just in shock that Texas has let it get to this. Steve Sarkisian, I think, beyond Quinn Ewers, needs to get a lot of the blame for this one. Some of the play calling at the end of the game in the fourth quarter was just atrocious. I really don't understand why you put the game in Quinn Ewers' hands when you went up 24-8. That's classic ground and pound, and close out the game, eliminate the clock. Texas play calling late has been extremely questionable. I really don't know if you can put a lot of this on Quinn Ewers. I know he's going to get a lot of the hate. Really shouldn't have even had a shot here. I want to give some respect to Arizona State, no doubt, but I ain't going to worry about them right now. We got a game to potentially win here. Bert Auburn kicking this one from about 30, 30 exactly yards out, 37 yards out. Here we go. It's up, and he clanks it off the upright. You got to be kidding me. Bert Auburn, I told y'all, those of you that have been listening to me for a long time, I told y'all that Bert Auburn was going to choke in a big spot late. I have not felt good about Bert Auburn all season long, and here we are. I don't know what to make, what even to think right now. Live reaction. I'm just so disappointed. Bert Auburn missing 2 field goals late. I said it for a long time. Bert is pretty solid, really. Anything less than 40, now he gets a 30-yard field goal, a little bit longer than that, 35-yarder, and you can't hit. I mean, Texas, look, they might end up winning this game in overtime. I'll give a little bit of credit to Arizona State, no doubt. I'll give a little bit of a credit to them. I'll focus on them a little bit later. Right now, we're locked in on Texas, what's gone wrong for them. Arizona State should have never really had an opportunity to win this game. You could have managed this game a whole lot differently, and you could have easily put this one to bed a long time ago. Terrible non-targeting call. Keith says, look, let me talk a second about the targeting call. I think that the letter of the law, absolutely, it was targeting. Like the letter of the law, I think that one should have been targeting. But that being said, I hate the targeting rule. The targeting rule is terrible. That's not a dirty play by Michael Taff. Does anybody think that's a dirty play? I can't take you seriously if you do. That's not a dirty play by Michael Taff. That is a play that shouldn't be targeting, but I think letter of the law, it is. I don't think there's anything dirty about that play. And so, look, could I have seen targeting getting called there? Absolutely. Do they need to drastically change the targeting rules to not include plays like the Michael Taff one? Yes. That should not be targeting. Targeting is for dirty plays, for vicious hits that are totally uncalled for, where you are straight up just trying to injure a player. That's not targeting at all coming from Michael Taft there. It's a good hit. I don't think that that should be targeting. We can argue back and forth about whether they should change the rule or not. I do think, letter of the law, though, it is. You hit him in the head, right? I mean, I don't know what the exact wording is. I'm not a rule expert, know them pretty well, but you hit somebody in the head, right? Anytime you have that helmet to helmet contact, it seems like they call targeting more than not, but I don't know what prevents them from calling it in that spot. I'd love to hear the explanation, but look, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I could probably get some audio of the game going for y'all, but I'm not going to be able to sync it up with the video. But I could probably get some audio going for y'all. Right now, it's a commercial, so we'll put the audio back on real light, so you guys should be able to hear a little bit of audio as we go, and then I'm going to give you the play-by-play otherwise here. So overtime beginning, and we'll let you know who's going to be getting the ball first, who's going to be on defense first. They're going through the overtime rules right now. Not showing the game. Not showing the game. Just talking about the game. So if you got to go to find another source, be my guest. Not going to show the game. Not trying to get banned, blocked, whatever the case may be. But I'll get the audio up for you guys. Should be able to hear it. Doing the coin toss right now. We're just watching at home right now, honestly. Just watching at home. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Coin toss right now. We'll see who gets ball first, who's on defense first. 27-27 at the moment. Texas wins the toss, and looks like they are going to be on defense first. Ref's mic went out for a second. Texas playing defense first. Here we go. The game is on ESPN. If you're going to lock in on ESPN with me, you might be a little bit ahead. I'm just watching on my computer live with y'all. You might be a little bit ahead. But look, right now, we're trying to finish out this game, hoping to get a Texas win. 2 missed field goals by Burt Auburn, man. 2 missed field goals. I'll put it back on when we've got some live action for you. But 2 missed field goals by Burt Auburn. Said for a long time Burt was going to end up costing us in a big spot. Didn't want to be right, but I was. Like 2 field goals in the fourth quarter, very makeable. I don't get it. The confidence has felt a little shaken from Burt in these longer attempts. I mean, look, he's hit the easy 20-something yarders, and look, even a 30-something yarder, I felt pretty confident Burt was going to knock that one through. Hits it off the upright. Doink. Thought maybe you would get that nice little kiss on the inside of the upright. Good. Yeah, that thing clanged right off and fell into the end zone. Here we go with some live. First play, Arizona State. Scatterboo, about a 5-6 yard gain there. Scatterboo has been incredible in the second half. I thought they bottled up Scatterboo really, really well. I mean, they bottled him up really, really well in the first half. In the second half, they just let him get loose. They let him get going. You just couldn't let that happen. And that's why I said when they went up 24-8, you have got to take the ball out of the Arizona State's offense hands, run clock, ground and pound with Weisner and Blue. Did not get all of the passing the Longhorns were trying to do in the fourth quarter after going up 24-8. Looks like could be interception. Oh, incomplete. Oh, my goodness. That was a 50-50 ball. I thought that they might have had an interception there. I'm going to see what happens here on the replay. Levitt tried kind of a fade into the end zone. Honestly, Texas should have picked this one off. They really should have picked this one off. I don't know how Muhammad doesn't come down with this one. He felt like he could have stepped right in front of this and taken it all the way, but falls to the ground. So we're at 3rd down and 5 right now, Arizona State, 3rd down and 5. Uh, this one's gonna be a close call. Looks like about a 4th and 1 upcoming. 4th and 1. Scatabo caught it on the edge, sideline pass, extended. Looks like it's gonna be 4th and 1. Big decision here from Dillingham. Man, this feels like it would have been that is gonna be really, really close. He might that ball was stretched. I don't know what exactly they're gonna give him for a spot. That was closer than I thought. Here we go, 4th and 1. They're going for it. They're going. Oh, timeout, Arizona State. Dillingham gonna talk it over. Timeout here. ASU's got a 4th and 1. Maybe they're trying to give some time to review the spot here. I don't know, but I do think this is a spot where if you're Arizona State, you gotta go for it. I don't know why at this point you would kick a field goal, 4th and 1. That puts it strictly in Texas hands. So I sure hope the Horns can get a stop here on 4th. I think this is the game right now, although I shouldn't say that. I got to knock on wood. Let me find some behind. Hope y'all heard that. Knock on wood. I'm not feeling great about a field goal. If Bert Auburn has to kick a field goal for this game to win, I'm not feeling great about it. I want Texas scoring the touchdown. Like, please. Just totally unbelievable how Texas has let it get to this. Hey, we wanted a close game in the college football playoff. We got it. 4th and 1 coming up right now. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I think they got it. I think they got it. It's gonna be close. I think they gave it to them. Really close. It's tough in the pile. Really, really close, but they're gonna give it to them. Arizona State's got 1st and 10 at the 15. Looks like they're gonna go to review though. So we got a little review going here. We're gonna see when the knee hits. I do think that they got the push. Yeah, it looks like he got the push, man. He got underneath there. It looks like this is gonna stand as a 1st down. It's tough at the bottom of the pile, but I think they're gonna end up giving it to them. They're doing a review right now. Arizona State is gonna have 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Big 4th down call, man. You get stuffed there. You would like to think the game is over for Texas, but look, with Bert Auburn in a special kind of way right now, I'm not putting it in Bert Auburn's hands. I might give Bert Auburn like a field goal attempt from within the 5, maybe from within the 10. I think beyond the 10-yard line, I'm not feeling great about Bert Auburn. I'm just not feeling great. By the way, appreciate all y'all tuning in. Thank you so much. I know a number of y'all have followed since we've gone live. I'm not going to show the video. I've tried to do that in the past, and I just end up getting burned. Block on my account or something weird. I am going to play the audio for you guys. Do my play-by-play games on ESPN if you want to see some video, but we'll give you all the audio. 1st and 10. They did confirm that, so we're going to have 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line here. Texas trying to hold here, force Arizona State, turnover on downs or a field goal, taking over on offense next. Here we go. Flag immediately. Scatabo got nowhere to go, but he's going to get about 2 yards on a pitch to the outside. Arizona State with a big 1st down penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 15 now from the 20. Illegal formation. Arizona State didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. Looks like so. We're going to have a 1st and 15 here. Texas stops Scatabo for about a 2-yard gain. Really, he did well to get a couple of yards there. Somebody's asking, do I think Texas pulls this out? I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say no. I just feel like in an overtime matchup, anything can happen. But Texas the more talented team. Anything can happen in overtime, though. I would be picking Texas right now. Scatterboo bottled up. He's going to try and get the edge here. They're going to stop him for a 1 yard loss. This is huge. So we've got second down and 16 coming up. Scatterboo has been dealing. Some people are getting mad at me earlier because I didn't start the show off like bowing down to Cam Scatterboo. Look, he had a great second half. Texas bottled him up really, really nicely in the first half. You let him get loose in the fourth quarter. That's why you needed to run the ball. Sark getting pass happy in the fourth quarter for whatever reason. Scatterboo went down on the play, so he is out right now. Second and 16 for Arizona State. Scatterboo out on this play. We're going to see. I'm sure he'll be back in, but let's get to the play. Second and 16 from about the 21-yard line here for Arizona State. Another handoff here, and they're going to stop him. It's going to be third and 15, third and 14. I am shocked that they ran the ball there on second down and 16. Why are you running the ball there? I don't get that at all, but here we are. It's going to be third down and about 14 or 15. Arizona State's got to make up a lot here. If it's me, I'm probably sending pressure on this play. Make Sam Levitt get rid of the ball quickly. Let the DBZ. It looks like in the shotgun they got running back in the backfield for protection, but we'll see if we can get a stop here on third down and 14. That was terrible. Are you kidding me? That was terrible. My goodness. I can't even believe what just happened. How do you allow this to happen? I can't even believe. I mean, Sam Levitt, look, he has had a game. The tackling on Levitt today has been terrible. I know he's elusive, just terrible. And now Arizona State has the ball at about the 3 or 4 yard line here. Scatterboo looks gassed. I'm sure he's going to bang it in right here, but he looks gassed right now. First down play, handoff to Scatterboo. He's going to get stuck. Oh, looks like somebody tried to bring him in. A lineman grabbed him, and it looks like they're going to give him the touchdown initially. Literally, they just grabbed Scatterboo, one of the linemen, and dragged him into the end zone. What an effort play by the lineman there. Oh, my goodness. They're going to give it to him. I think that they're going to review this one. It looked like he actually landed on the lineman and then rolled over into the end zone. So I think they're probably going to give it to him. It looked like they had him stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Again, tackling has just been poor today. It's been really, really poor today from Texas. I really hope that they are able to pull this one out. I'm not going to be shocked if they don't. They gave it to him. It's 31-24 right now. 31-24, Texas with a shot. Texas with a chance, but 31-24 early. If you're Texas, if you score, do you try to go for two? Do you just go kill shot, or do you try and just go back and forth with Arizona State right now? That's what I'm trying to figure out what I would do. Do you go kill shot if you get the touchdown here if you're Texas, or do you try to just keep going back and forth with the Sun Devils? I don't know. I think you got to probably kick the field goal, kick the extra point, and just keep trading blows, just hoping that you're able to finally outlast and outmatch Arizona State based on your talent alone. But this one's coming down to the wire. Look, I know a lot of people are going to be hating on Texas. I got a few things to say about that. Here we go. Yeah, first down, tried to go to Davis on the outside. Could have been intercepted, honestly. Could have been intercepted. Quinn Ewers, not a great first throw there. He's going to get a lot of blame with the interception late. Quinn Ewers is. A lot of blame, I think, is going to go to him. I think you got to focus on Sark for this one, maybe on Burt Auburn. For me, Quinn is not the first guy that I'm blaming for this loss. I know the interception sucks, but I don't think you can give Quinn the first share of the blame in this one. Hand off to Wisner. They bottled him up good. No gain. It's gonna be 3rd and 10 right now. Wow. Blocking super weak on that one. Just super weak. 3rd and 14, Texas had it, and they let Sam Levitt get a first down on 3rd and 14. There's so many things where it's like they just don't deserve to win today. They might squeak one out, but it's been very uninspiring today in the second half for Texas. Here's 3rd down and 10. What are you doing? More, more. Why are you going out of bounds? Cut it. There's no time. Cut it upfield. Why are you running out of bounds there? I don't even get that at all. So Ewers swings it out to the outside, an outlet pass, and you've got Moore dinking his way out of bounds. What are you doing? So here's the game, 4th and 8. Here's the game right now. Jeez, I can't even believe this right now. It comes down to 4th and 8, Moore going out. Like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing right now. I really, really can't. Here's the game. Flag, false start. Now it's gonna be 4th and 13. Even better. Even better. Wow. I did not think that it was gonna come down to this, y'all, but here we go. It might be the season. I might be a little bit behind y'all too. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna skip comments for a second. We'll lock in here. Y'all can watch me experience this live. 4th and 13. 4th and 13. They're bringing pressure. They're bringing heat right now. They better have something drawn up. Got it! Let's go! Let's go! Wide open, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Golden wide open. Wide open. They tried to bring the pressure. They tried to bring the pressure, and it didn't work. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. That was a beautiful throw and catch. Beautiful throw and catch with the game on the line. The defense they gotta show out right now. They gotta show out right now. Come on. Here's the extra point. This could be an adventure. I know some of y'all were trying to get me. I saw that. I got some trolls in the chat. Missed the extra point. Missed the extra point. Okay. Look, Bert Auburn's had a bad day. It hadn't been that bad. It hadn't been that bad. Extra point though. Look, I got to admit, I crossed my fingers for a second there. That was a beautiful, beautiful play call. Golden, he broke that dude's ankles on the outside. Like that was ankle breaking route running from Golden right there. That could have just saved the season. So Texas is going to be on offense in the second overtime. Look, the defense, they got to step up. Y'all just allowed a 3rd and 14 to be converted. Sam Levitt, 3rd and 14. I can't even cannot even believe 3rd and 14. You give up a run to Sam Levitt like that. Freaking ridiculous. Look, I think that Texas, I'm going to say, with that, they find a way. With that big play to Golden there on 4th down with the game on the line, I'm going to say they find a way today, but it's ugly. It's an ugly win. It's really an ugly second half. And I still say it didn't need to happen. Why are you passing? You go up 24-8. Why are you passing? Run the clock out. Ground and pound. I just don't even understand the play calling from Sark in that fourth quarter. I know Quinn Ewers throws the pick. I get it. Look, don't blame Quinn Ewers if they lose this game. I'm totally on the page right now. The coaching. It hasn't been great today. In the second half, The coaching has not been on point today. A lot of people are gonna blame Quinn just naturally, like he didn't do enough. Look, oh, Texas, let's go! Touchdown! I got the yapping. Gunner Helm, baby! Gunner Helm, let's go! One play, one tutty. What? Let's go. One play, one touchdown. Oh my goodness. Texas going up 37-31. Extra point. Gunner Helm was wide open. That was a beautiful route from Gunner Helm. Takes the block and then releases. And he was wide open. Kind of a not quite up the seam, but that was beautiful from Gunner Helm. Texas going for two right here. Let's see what they do. You got to go for two right now. Got it. Golden, baby. Texas up 39-31. Let's go. Texas up 39-31. Golden. Ewers rolled out right on the run. Money pass. You better not be blaming Quinn Ewers for this loss if we take one. I don't think we're taking an L today. I don't want to hear any Quinn Ewers disrespect. And look, I've been critical of Quinn. I have. But I don't want to hear any disrespect from Quinn Ewers after this game. You won't hear it from me. He has given his team a chance to win this ball game multiple times. Bert Auburn choking on the field goals. Isn't that crazy how quickly that flipped, though? So Texas is down. Cam Scatterbo puts it in. He gets carried across by his lineman. Texas has a 4th and 13 after a false start. And then 2 plays, back-to-back tutties. Quinn Ewers, don't disrespect that man at all after this game. He gave his team so many chances to win this game. First play from ASU coming up. Levitt back to pass. Check down to Scatterbo. Scatterbo down to the 11 or 12. Too easy. Too easy. Scatterbo gets it down to the 11, 12-yard line. Way too freaking easy. I don't love that. I don't love their pass protect. Right? They're rushing 4, and they're dropping a ton of the linebackers into coverage, and then you're just giving a wide open Scatterbo. I don't understand that. Stop leaving Scatterbo wide open. He's going to make people miss. Here we go. Levitt, play action, getting flush, throws it out of bounds. Second and 10 from about the 11 or 12 right now. Little play action to Scatterbo, and then after that, Levitt gets flushed out. Texas had a nice little pass rush. Second and 10 from the 11 or 12. It's coming down to a Texas team 39-31 after converting the 2-point conversion in the second overtime. Come on, defense. They got to step up. Like that first OT, 3rd and 14, that's freaking ridiculous. Step up right now, defense. Let's go. Hand off to Scatterbo. Stuff them. It's going to be about 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 right now. Let's go defense. I'm really surprised they handed it off there to Scatterbo. I think they were hoping to get 4 or 5. Look, you're 2nd and 10. I think 3rd and 8 now. Yep, 3rd and 8 is the call. So it's 4-down territory. And Arizona State can't technically get a first down if they get it to like the 2-yard line. We'll see what they have in store right now. Scatterbo in the backfield with Levitt. Texas bringing 5. Ball release. Interception. Let's go. Texas survives. Texas survives. Whoa. Oh. Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em. Let's get it. I just got to soak this one in right now. I don't even care. Y'all can hate all you want on how close this game was. I'm soaking this one in right now. Gotta love this Texas Nation. Longhorns Nation, let's go. Oh, sad. They're showing all the Arizona State fans and players. So sad. So 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 sad. I'm sorry. You tried. You tried. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe that it was this close. Mukuba with the interception, by the way. Let's hear what Sark has to say. Let's hear Sark right now. And you need to call better plays. Come on, Sark. Wow. Texas wins 39-31. Look, Sark better take some onus in the presser. Right? He better take some onus in the presser. Like, for real. You cannot just put it all, "We gotta play better football." I know that he just won a game. I'm not gonna hold these words against him. They just flipped to the Ohio State game, by the way. Ohio State up 7-0. I don't care that much about that game. I'm gonna turn it off. I can't even believe Texas pulls that off. Like, they were dead in the freaking water. It was 4th and 13, and Quinn Ewers dots up Golden in the end zone, right over the middle. Golden broke the DB's ankles on that play. And then the very next play in the second overtime, you hit Gunnar Helm on the nice kind of outside seam route for a touchdown. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. I cannot even believe what I just witnessed. And then Texas with the interception. I said defense needed to step up in that second overtime. You bailed out Arizona State with the poor tackling, giving Sam Levitt a third and 14 conversion. Third and 14 conversion. Look, I know that they're going to say refs bailed us out. I'm already seeing some of that crap in the comments. Look, we can definitely say, and I'm going to admit it to y'all right now, letter of the law, I do think that's a targeting on Michael Taft. So can we just clear that out? Like, clear the air on that right now. I do think letter of the law, it's a targeting. But I don't think it should be a targeting penalty. That's a freaking BS targeting penalty if you call it. Nobody is feeling great about that. It's not targeting in my opinion. I think letter of the law though, the helmet to helmet contact, tough. I think you got to change that to crown of the helmet only. Like, they were face to face. That was a face to face helmet to helmet hit. That wasn't Michael Taft lowering the helmet and just dirty play, trying to hurt somebody. That's why I think they got to change that call. I think we all can agree that's not a dirty play from Michael Taft, and it shouldn't be a targeting penalty. It shouldn't be. Look, credit to Arizona State. You were dead in the water 24-8. Credit to them that they hang in there and they're able to force overtime. Could have potentially won this ball game, but the better team survives. Texas is a better team than Arizona State. They're more talented. They shouldn't have even made this one close. I feel bad for all my Texas backers. I feel bad for you not winning your money today. Texas should have easily cashed minus 13.5 today. Like, easily should have cashed that. I don't know what Sark is thinking, trying to throw the ball up 16 points. To me, don't overthink it. Hand it off to the workhorse. Quintrevion Wisner, hand it off to the guy, let him cook, throw Blue in there, and start killing clock. Like, coming out throwing right after you get the ball back after 24-8. Like, what are you doing? So Sark at the end of the game there, I know you're riding a wave of emotion. He'll get a little time to process. I know he comes out and says Texas has got to play better. We got to coach better. And don't even get me started on that punt on that fake punt that Arizona State converts at the very end of the second quarter? Like, that's coaching. That is coaching. You have got to have your boys ready for a fake punt like that at the end of the second quarter. I don't care how deep Arizona State was in their own territory. Be ready for anything. Georgia did the same daggum thing. I mean, y'all remember that? Georgia was what, like at the 35 or 40, their own 35 or 40, and they call the fake punt that ends up, in my opinion, winning them the SEC championship. How are you not ready 2 times in 3 games for a fake punt? And not even being able, like, I know Texas should have had a block punt earlier in the game. I don't even understand how Blackwell doesn't block that one himself. I know the coaches were chewing him out. How are you not ready for a fake punt in that moment? I really do not understand that at all. Look, I know a lot of talk is going to get made of the call, right? The targeting call. I totally get it. Who knows what could have happened after that? I think that call, it shouldn't be a targeting whatsoever. Like, it should not be a targeting whatsoever. They have got to figure out the targeting situation. I thought 100% they were going to call targeting there. I thought 100% targeting was going to get called on Taft, and that would have been a huge loss if Texas would have been able to survive. I mean, Arizona State, let's be real. If you're an Arizona State fan, you know this. I don't have to tell you this. The Arizona State field goal kicking game has been an adventure. I don't think that you can say Arizona State, without a shadow of a doubt, wins that game on a field goal. They've had their issues in the field goal kicking department anyways. I don't think you can blame the loss on the targeting call. I don't think it's a given or a gimme that Arizona State kicks the game-winning field goal. They had already had a field goal blocked. They'd already missed one earlier in the game. So I don't sit here and say, yeah, Arizona State for sure wins that game. But look, Texas gets to go to the Cotton Bowl now. Kind of a de facto home game for them. That is going to be friggin' sweet. Cotton Bowl for Texas next. You got to love that. You got to love it. Look, I was kind of wondering about that as well. Deer Hunter, by the way, and I know, guys, I got a ton of people in the comments right now. I just want to say I appreciate all of you. Thank you for hanging out, talking Texas Longhorns with me. This was a freaking roller coaster, but we survived. But Deer Hunter, I thought the same thing. Deer Hunter's comment, by the way, was basically like, if the ball is tipped, is the receiver still like defenseless? That was my question too. I thought that there was some weird out on that. Like, in a tipped ball, you can't have the same types of penalties. Again, not a rules expert, not going to sit here and pretend like I have the whole NCAA college football playoff rule book memorized. I don't. But I did think if a ball was tipped, there was some different rules there with targeting. I really did think that was the case. Arizona State, though, here's what you got to blame. It was 4th and 13, and you decided to send the house. And Texas defended that beautifully. Arizona State, how many were they rushing on that 4th and 13? It had to have been like 7 or 8 dudes. I mean, they had 4 guys back in coverage, basically the 2 corners and the safeties, and they still weren't able to get a stop or really any pressure on Quinn Ewers. Look, Arizona State, though, I got to give them credit. They came back in the 4th quarter with a vengeance. Cam Skattebo, real deal. He backed it up to an extent, right? I know they don't get the job done in the second overtime, but I think Skattebo is going to go on and have a nice NFL career. I don't think he is going to be killing it. I don't think he's going to be Christian McCaffrey, but I do think he is going to have a really nice career in the NFL. He's got a lot of heart, runs hard to tackle. I don't want to put a ceiling on him. He was the real deal in the second half. I really thought Texas was going to do a nice job bottling him up this entire game. They let him get loose in the 4th quarter. They let him get loose. What a toss from him, though. That 4th quarter touchdown pass. I don't think the Texas DBs were even expecting that ball to be in the air. Like, they just looked clueless. The only guy tracking the ball was the wide receiver. That was an incredible play from Cam Skattebo. Got to give him a lot of credit. Horns up. Blake, appreciate you tuning in. Horns up right now. Texas survives. They survive. That's all you got to do. Survive in advance. Survive in advance. This game could have been easily 3-score game. Texas could have won this game by 17 plus. I mean, this could have been a blowout game. Texas infamously just cannot get that kill shot. I've talked about it. I've posted about it. Texas just not able to get that kill shot. I don't know what it is with this team. Why can you not put it away in the fourth quarter? I thought today was going to be the day it finally came back to bite Texas. I'm glad to be wrong. I'm so glad to be wrong. Oh my gosh, y'all. Hook them. For all my people that are hanging out, Longhorns Nation, hook them. Josh, appreciate you, buddy. You're very welcome. I'm so glad that the first time I go live for a Longhorns game, those of y'all that have been following me for a while, I go live for Rangers games all the time, Texas Rangers games. I don't think I've been live for a Longhorns game yet. And I am so glad that they pull this one out on the live. I would not have enjoyed live reacting to a Longhorns loss. So thank you, Texas. Thank you, Quinn Ewers, Matthew Golden. Thank you, Gunnar Helm. Thank you, Mukuba, getting the game-sealing pick. Oh, my gosh. 39-31. I'm so happy we got the dub today, y'all. Look, I know that we're just reacting right now and celebrating this. I'm going to try and get a little bit more into the analysis as we go, but we got to enjoy this one. Going to the Cotton Bowl next? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's look at the box score. We got to check out some of the numbers today. I got to be real. I was not locked in on the box score by any means all game. I was just play by play, trying to survive without having a mental breakdown with how Texas was melting down in the fourth quarter. Quinn Ewers today. This is the game. I know last game there was a lot of people that were trying to talk down to the Quinn Ewers naysayers. And Quinn had 175 yards. If you have been a Quinn Ewers apologist, which, look, I can't say I have been. I have given Quinn Ewers my fair share of criticism here at Right on Rangers. Dude, you've got to ball out when it matters. You have got to have the big throws when it matters. We can't just be hanging on by a thread in the fourth quarter and you're just managing the offense at the end of games. Quinn Ewers did not manage the offense in overtime today. Quinn Ewers made some freaking big boy throws to win this game for Texas. So if you are a Quinn Ewers naysayer, today is not your day. If you are a Quinn Ewers apologist, today is your day. Post all you want and enjoy it. Quinn won this game for Texas late in overtime with some big throws. 20 for 30 for Quinn Ewers on the day. 322 yards, 3 touchdowns. The interception in the fourth quarter, not ideal. Quinn's got to make a better play, a better call there, a better read. No reason to be throwing an interception there in that spot in the fourth quarter if you're Quinn Ewers. I think Quinn, though, got to be your player of the game. I got to be the player of the game for Texas at this point. Weisner goes 18 carries, 45 yards. Matthew Golden probably right up there as well, right? Matthew Golden, Quinn Ewers, probably a duo there for player of the game. Give them co-MVP for the Peach Bowl. 149 yards for Golden. Look, I said Texas needs a number one receiver. Some of y'all might have seen my post before the game. I'm glad to be proven a little bit wrong today. Matthew Golden stepped up, and he was that dude today. He was that number one receiver today for us. I got to eat a little bit of crow. I said the receivers needed to step up. Look, Matthew Golden needed a little bit of redemption because that safety was 1,000% Matthew Golden's fault. You cannot give up that safety if you're Matthew Golden. It was poor blocking, and I have railed on Texas blocking on the edge, the holding penalties that the Texas wide receivers have accrued throughout the year. Texas wide receivers have got to be better blocking and have got to be better out there on the edge. Matthew Golden, that safety directly his fault, in my humble opinion. Glad to see him overcome that bad missed block, missed opportunity there. I mean, you get that block. Weisner actually probably has a fair amount of room to work with, but the edge doesn't get sealed and you give up a safety and make it 17-5. Oh my gosh. Matthew Golden, though, makes up for it in a big way with 149 yards, a huge extra point. Like that 2-point conversion to go up 39-31, that was not an easy play for Matthew Golden. He had to get up over the DB, make that catch on the run, keep your feet in bounds. Matthew Golden totally redeemed himself from that missed block on the safety. Totally redeemed himself. Look, again, I know a lot of y'all are going to say Texas gets bailed out on the targeting. Whatever. It was 4th and 13. It was 4th and 13. Arizona State just had to stop Texas on 4th and 13, and they win the game. So I don't want to hear the targeting. It's excuses at this point. You had a chance if you were Arizona State. 4th and 13. You had a chance to win the game right there. You're just not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me that the targeting, the missed targeting, is what this game comes down to. No way. Absolutely not. You're not going to get me there. I was surprised targeting didn't get called. I've given that much. I thought, and I was fully expecting targeting to get called. I don't think that that's a dirty play. That shouldn't even be close to targeting. Helmet to or face mask to face mask contact should not be targeting. And that is all that was. It was literally face mask to face mask contact. That should not be targeting. It's not a dirty play. Michael Taft has no intention of injuring anybody. That should not be targeting. The NCAA's got to change that. They've got to change it. That's not targeting. That's not a dirty play. So I think they've got to do something different there. You have got to stop ejecting players, changing the game, and then making them sit out the next half if it wasn't in the first half. It's way too punitive, especially if the play isn't dirty to begin with. And I don't think anybody can sit there and argue that that's a dirty play. Nobody. Appreciate the gifts, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shane, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks, my guy. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Christmas break, man. Thank you so much. I can't even believe this, though, y'all. I'm just going to enjoy 39-31. Like, how? How did Texas pull this off? It was 4th and 13. And Quinn Ewers freaking dots up Matthew Golden on the seam route. And again, all my wide receiver aficionados out there, like, that was a beautiful route by Matthew Golden. It doesn't get any more beautiful than what Matthew Golden did to the Arizona State DB on that play to tie the game. It doesn't get any more beautiful than that. I mean, that was an outside shake, plant, and those ankles were freaking broke. And then Quinn throws a beautiful ball for the touchdown. Back-to-back plays. I mean, look, if Texas wins the Natty, you're going to go back to really those back-to-back 3 plays. The touchdown to Golden on 4th and 13, the first play in the second overtime to Gunnar Helm, and then the beautiful 2-point conversion to Matthew Golden in the corner of the end zone. You're going to go back to those 3 plays, and you are going to put those ones up there at the top of how Texas was able to win it all. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I'm not going to get too much into next week. I was thinking I may actually do kind of a pregame show. Maybe I'll do it on the day of. Maybe I'll do it the day before Texas faces off against either Oregon or Ohio State, which that game is going on right now. But I think I'm going to do some kind of pregame show, either the day before or on the day of, talking about the game. Ohio State up 7-0 right now. They got the ball at about midfield, by the way. 8.5 minutes left to go. Let me keep going here with the comments. I'm really going to try and lock in on comments. I know I've done a poor job keeping up with y'all. I've tried to click on some every once in a while. Yeah, a lot of y'all got bailed out. That missed targeting call, crazy. Yeah, but it wasn't the reason they lost. The missed targeting call just wasn't the reason Arizona State lost. Shouldn't even be smiling. Whatever. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'll smile if I want to. Come on now. I'm going to smile. Texas wins 39-31. Lock in on targeting. Lock in on the play that shouldn't be targeting to begin with. No, thank you. Gonna lose to OSU anyway? Okay, we'll see. Secretly, I wanted ASU to win. Yeah, you got me. You got me. Let me keep rolling here. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. As an ASU fan, phenomenal game, a true game. Hey, good game. I appreciate it. Look, Arizona State, they surprised me. I thought that they were going to roll over in the fourth quarter. After Quinn Ewers scores that rushing touchdown, I thought Arizona State was going to roll over. I did not think that it was even going to be close. I thought Texas backers were going to be cashing those tickets at minus 13.5. I thought it was over when Quinn Ewers goes 24-8 on that rush where he dives into the end zone. Man, I thought it was done right there. And anybody that bet Texas today, I thought you were cashing a very nice ticket. Arizona State didn't roll over. That's huge. For them to come back in that way, I got to give them a lot of credit, a lot of respect for them. Ohio State just scored again. It's 14-0. Man, little revenge tour right now. Ohio State going up big early, 14-0 on Oregon. I'm going to check the game cast for this one. So who got the ball first? Because obviously the Texas game was still going on. So, wow, Ohio State got the ball first, and they're going to get the ball back at the beginning of the second half too. It's going to get dicey here for Oregon pretty quickly. Yeah, it should have never been close. I'm saying it was huge for Arizona State, like the momentum that they had in the fourth quarter. Like, I think just two, for the simple fact that when you go down 16 in the fourth quarter, nobody's really giving you a shot. I thought it was over. Huge for them to be able to force it to OT. I mean, look, Texas, they easily could have won this one in a blowout. They made it way more interesting than they needed to. I think you got to place some blame on Bert Auburn. You got to place some blame on Sark. The play calling has to be better when you go up by 16 in the fourth quarter. It has to be better. 100%. What a game. Totally agreed. Smiley, appreciate you. Why would they get the ball back first in the second half? I thought Oregon had the ball first, or did I just read that too quick? Oh, Ohio State got the ball first. My bad on that one. So Ohio State got the ball first, looking at a lot of different things at one time. So yeah, Ohio State scored on the opening drive. So yes, Oregon will have the ball first in the second half. Good for them. They better get some points here pretty quick. No shot Texas wins that game if the targeting gets called. I just don't think you can say that. The Arizona State kicking game has been anything but reliable. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they make the field goal there. That's why I just can't go with the targeting call as my leadoff. What I am going to go with is Arizona State, you had a chance at 4th and 13 to end the game. 4th and 13. So anybody that's going back to the targeting call, sore loser mentality, like seriously, you had a 4th and 13 to win. That's all. I think that is more of a sure shot. 4th and 13 to win the ball game is way more of a sure shot than you got the ball at the Texas 45 and you've got to make a long field goal to win. I think that 4th and 13 play is everything in this one. What a game, what a game. I think by the letter of the law, it's targeting. That's what I think. And look, maybe Horns fans, you'll disagree with me. I was fully expecting targeting to be called. So anybody crying about the targeting, I will give you that. I do think throughout the entire season, I have harped almost every single week, they've got to fix the targeting penalty in college football. They've got to fix it. That's not a dirty play from Michael Taft. That's helmet to helmet, face mask to face mask contact. Targeting, in my opinion, is designed to eliminate dirty plays from the game. Plays where you are intentionally trying to hurt or injure somebody. I don't think that targeting was designed for Michael Taft face mask to face mask contact in that moment. So you'll never convince me that should be a targeting penalty in our game. But I do think letter of the law, it is. I do think that penalty would not have shocked me in the slightest had it gotten called. With that being said, I don't think it should be targeting. I think they've got to fix it. They've got to fix it. So, look, be mad they didn't call it. Be mad that there's some bias. You can't say Arizona State goes down and wins the game anyways. You just can't sit there and say that. They're going to get the ball at about the Texas 35-40, right? Because the play was like what at the Arizona State 47-48. So they're going to get the ball inside the 40. It's going to be about a 50-yard field goal at that point. Maybe Scattaboo and company bring it up to about a 40-yarder. You just can't sit there and say Arizona State's making a 40-yard field goal without a doubt. They're not scoring a touchdown there. If they get that targeting call, they're just going to run Scattaboo and eat clock and hope that their field goal kicker makes it. So I'm not going to give anybody the targeting call is the game. They would have won. You don't know that. You can't say that. You don't know if Arizona State goes down and kicks a field goal. They had talked nonstop that Arizona State's field goal kicking game was a freaking adventure all season long. They talked about that probably like 10 times on the broadcast. So I am not buying into it all. It's a foregone conclusion that Arizona State wins the game if that targeting gets called. They still got to make a long field goal, probably a 40-plus yarder at the end of the day. They had already gotten blocked on a field goal earlier in the game, missed one. I just can't sit there and say that the targeting call matters and is definitely going to lead to an Arizona State victory. I think what matters more than the targeting is 4th and 13 in overtime. Keep going. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate it. Yes, JR or Junior, appreciate the comment. Sark almost lost them the game. I can agree with that 1,000%. Sark almost lost them this game. If Sark just runs the ball literally every single down after Quinn Ewers runs it in for the touchdown to make it 24-8, if you would have just said, we are playing big boy football and you are not going to be able to stop this run game, there is no way Texas loses this game. Like, if you would have just made the offensive line and this Texas offense pull up their freaking pants and just run it down Arizona State's throat after going up 24-8, you definitely would have seen a different result. It wouldn't have even come down to the targeting penalty. But for whatever reason, Stark wanted to throw the ball up 16 points. I just don't even get that. Like, you were throwing it into double coverage. That was a terrible decision on Quinn's part. I still say Quinn is the reason why the Longhorns win this game. Like, Quinn overcame bad play calling from Steve Sarkisian in the fourth quarter today. There's no reason you need to be throwing the ball up 16. It should have been handoff, jet sweep, handoff. It should have been nothing but runs when you go up 16. You could have played the numbers game with the clock. It would have worked out, I think, a lot differently. There wouldn't have even been an opportunity for Arizona State to get the targeting call in the first place if you just run the ball late. I think a lot of people didn't want you to win because of the SEC stink. Congrats, though. Yeah, look, there's a lot of Longhorns haters out there. There's a ton of Texas Longhorns haters out there. I know that not anyone but those wearing the equipment, the memorabilia, all the whatever you want to call it, the merchandise that I'm wearing, nobody that's wearing burnt orange is going for Texas to win this game. Like, Texas has a lot of haters. If you're wearing burnt orange, of course you're happy, but Texas has a ton of haters. No doubt. No doubt. Let me see. Burt got to go. Look, I've railed on Burt Auburn. I've said he's going to miss a big kick. He is going to miss a big kick at some point. Sure enough, he ends up missing a huge couple of kicks. Like, this game shouldn't have even gone to overtime. Burt Auburn, they've got a situation there. You have got to think that Burt Auburn is probably a little bit rattled at this point. I haven't seen any kind of improvement. I know he hit the big field goal in the SEC championship to tie it and force overtime. I don't feel good with Burt Auburn right now, and I think you have got to start calling plays accordingly. I don't think that you can count on Burt Auburn to kick a big field goal for you anymore. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I would not be feeling good if I was Sark about Burt Auburn's ability. It's changing my mentality on anything 4th and 5, 6, 7. If I'm in maybe 30 to 35-yard range, okay. Anything over a 40-yard field goal, I do not feel good about Burt Auburn kicking it at all right now. Bro, not Texas haters, SEC's haters shouldn't have left the Big 12. Okay. Look, regardless, I think that Texas belongs in the SEC, no doubt. Look, the Big 12 losing, Texas losing Oklahoma, it had its games. Like it had some nice big games, but the Big 12 feels a little bit like an afterthought at this point with Texas and Oklahoma leaving. And I don't have any disdain for the Big 12. Like I really don't. Don't have anything personal. I know that there are some Texas fans that really have been dumping on the Big 12, kind of rubbing it in. That's not really me. Like Texas, they belong in the SEC, but there's no Big 12 hate for me. I know some Horns fans kind of rubbing it in a little bit, but that's not where I'm at. I think Texas is where they belong. I understand the hate. I really do. But I think Texas is exactly where they need to be. Imagine winning off a targeting call. No. Imagine winning off a 4th and 13 conversion in overtime, a do or die play that Arizona State defended terribly. So, no, I'm not going to imagine winning off a targeting call. I am going to actually enjoy winning off of a 4th and 13 play that Quinn Ewers freaking dotted up Matthew Golden on. Arizona State brought the pressure. They brought 7 guys probably. Couldn't get any pressure. And then Quinn Ewers throws a dot to tie the game. That is what won the game. 4th and 13. Come on now. 4th and 13. Agreed, Dylan. A win is a win. A win is a win. Let's see. Josh says trying to get Quinn's draft stock up. Yeah, I think that probably is a little bit of a factor here, if I'm being real. So there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk that Quinn Ewers is not going to go to the draft next year. There's a lot of talk that Quinn is going to be transferring. I've heard Notre Dame. I've heard Oregon. I don't know. I think if Quinn wins the Natty, you probably do want to go ahead and go to the draft. If they get knocked out in the semis or in the Natty, I don't know. Maybe even if they make it. If they make it to the Natty, I think if you're Quinn, you got to go ahead and go to the NFL draft. I don't think hanging around college for another year is going to do a whole lot for Quinn Ewers. I think most people have their minds made up about him at this point. Maybe if he goes and just has an incredible, insane Heisman elite season next year, it would help. But I think Quinn is going to go and probably be a late first round, second round at the worst draft pick. I don't think Quinn is dropping below the second round. I think he has a shot with a semifinal win and another performance like this to go late first round. I don't think he's going to be one of the top 10 guys by any means, but I really don't know what another year does for Quinn Ewers. I really don't know if it's going to make any kind of difference in his draft stock, but a lot of reports, Notre Dame, Oregon, because I don't think you're running it back with Quinn next year. Even with a national championship, I think you're turning it over to Arch. Maybe if they win the Natty in like convincing fashion, Quinn wants to come back again. I don't know. But if I'm Sark, if I am all of the higher ups in the Texas football program, I'm turning it over to Arch next year no matter what. No matter what. Keep going. SEC and Vegas made the call to the ref. Texas not getting through OSU or Oregon. I don't know. I think that Texas has not helped any of the doubters by barely getting past ASU today. I will say this. Texas is a team, and I've said this all year. They are a team that is totally surviving advanced mentality. They are not going to blow out every single team that they play. In fact, they're probably going to play with their food a lot, and they're probably going to let teams hang around more than what they really should be. So Texas, survive and advance. That's what today was. Next week against Oregon or Ohio State, I would expect a close game that Texas may end up winning, may end up losing. I can't say that I feel any kind of lack of confidence. I think Texas is going to compete next week. Will they potentially end up losing like they did to Georgia in the SEC championship? I could see it going either way. I'm going to be totally real with you. But do I see Texas getting dog walked? Do I see Texas getting blown out next week? Absolutely not. I think Texas is going to be competitive with almost anybody, and in some cases, more so than they really need to be when it comes to inferior competition. So I'm not going to be buying into anybody saying that Texas is going to get blown out, right? That they're going to get spanked, dog walked, whatever you want to throw in there. But I don't think that they are going to give you anything but a competitive ball game, whether it's Ohio State or Oregon. My 2 cents. Quinn, come on, he's a lifetime backup. If Quinn is a lifetime backup in the NFL, look, my perspective, you're doing pretty good. I mean, look, you could do worse than being a backup NFL quarterback. You're going to get paid a couple million a year to ride the pine. I mean, look, so Quinn Ewers, if all he is an all-time backup in the NFL, you're doing great. Does he want to be an all-time backup? Absolutely not. But look, I love the people that hate on dude's going to be a backup in the NFL. Like, that's fine. Like, a backup quarterback in the NFL. Think about Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy, by and large, was a backup quarterback in the NFL, making multi-millions every single year and not having to get his body beat up. You just got to know the playbook and be ready at any moment to go in. Not a bad gig. So anybody hating on Quinn going to the NFL and being a backup guy, whatever, he's probably going to be doing much better than any of us at the end of his career. Put it to you that way. He for sure goes pro this year. I got to agree. Got to agree. Let me keep going. How can Texas blow a 16-point lead? Bad play calling. Bad play calling is the reason Texas blows a 16-point lead in this one. Like, Sark up 16, you can't be passing the ball. I don't know if he was getting cute. Hey, they're going to be expecting us to run, so we're going to go ahead and pass. Like, that's the only explanation I can think of why Steve Sarkisian decides to pass the ball when you're up 16. That is the only thing I can think of, is maybe in his mind he's thinking, I'm going to outsmart Dillingham and I'm going to come out firing right now. They're all thinking we're going to just run clock here, hand it off to Wisner. I'm going to come out throwing. That's literally the only explanation I can think of for why Sark would have been trying to pass the ball there in the fourth quarter. Don't even give Quinn the opportunity to throw an interception. Play the clock game, play the numbers game, kill it, and then let the defense eat with a long field, right? You pin Arizona State back at the 15, back at the 10, whatever the case may be, on a punt, and you make them have to go the length of the field twice and get both 2-point conversions. If they would have run the ball, I do think there's not even an opportunity for that targeting call that I'm still getting a ton of trolling on in the chat. Like, that wouldn't have even been a factor had Texas just run the ball up 2 scores. I don't know how anybody disagrees with that. Let me keep going. I definitely give props to Arizona State. I definitely give props to Arizona State, no doubt. So give them respect. Scattaboo, he did a lot of talking. Sam Levitt did a lot of talking. I feel like they backed it up a little bit. Like, the Arizona State defense, I would say, lost them this game. You gave up a 4th and 13. With the game on the line, you stop a 4th and 13, you win the ball game. The Arizona State defense cost them this game. It cost them. I totally agreed on this comment, the comment from Facebook from Brad. It worked for Colt McCoy, talking about being a lifetime backup in the NFL. Again, don't get the people like hating on Quinn. Oh, you're going to be a backup. The best you're going to be is a backup. Pretty dang good, in my estimation, to be a lifelong backup in the NFL. You don't take the beating on your body. You literally just have to study your playbook and maybe occasionally play if the starting quarterback needs a breather or gets knocked out or gets knocked down for a play. Not a bad gig. I do think Quinn should go pro after this season, though. Don't hang around and go to Notre Dame or Oregon. Just cement that Texas quarterback legacy. Go win a natty this year and then go pro. I don't try and hang around college football. I don't want to be a hater, but the dudes that are trying to stick around college football like forever, to me, I can't say that I'm like, that's awesome. If anything, I'm like, dude, let it go. Go pro or start your career elsewhere. Like the guys that are 25 plus hanging around college football, it makes me think that the NCAA needs some kind of age limitation. Like, I don't know. I know that might not be everybody's opinion, but for me, I don't love or get excited or enthused by 28-year-olds playing college football. I don't. If you do, you, but that does not excite me in the slightest. I agree with this. Jaden, appreciate the comment. If you have to rely on a targeting call to win, you don't deserve to win. Well said. And that's my point. If you're not at all going to mention the 4th and 13 in overtime when you mention the targeting, like don't even bother, right? Like seriously, you don't deserve to win if you can't stop Texas on 4th and 13. Let me keep going. I can't lie. Scatterbo was balling. He was balling. I'm not sitting here and hating on Cam Scatterbo or Sam Leavitt. I think Arizona State's defense lost him this game. Again, I've said it so many times, I don't want to be a broken record, but it was 4th and 13 with the game on the line. And Arizona State's defense couldn't stop it. You dialed up pressure. They rushed like 7 dudes. They got no pressure. And then Quinn Ewers dots up Matthew Golden down the seam in the end zone for a touchdown. And then it was all downhill from there. Keep going. I like it, Sammy. To all the haters, keep hating. Hook them. Love it. Love it. Look, I didn't love what I didn't love with Scatterbo. If I had any kind of critique for him, I did not love the crybaby antics on the sideline, yelling at your coaches. I didn't love all that. And I don't personally love that so much sideline chatter and talk makes its way to the broadcast. Like in the heat of the moment in a football game, tensions run high. Guys do things, say things that they probably wouldn't if the adrenaline wasn't like jacked up to 1,000. So a part of me says that kind of stuff shouldn't even be making it back. But I got to say, I don't love that kind of antics from Scatterbo on the sideline with the coaches on the after the 4th down stuff in the first half. It doesn't really rub me the right way, but look, the dude had a great game. I'm not trying to be a hater. He had an outstanding game in the second half, especially throwing for a touchdown. He was involved in the passing game. Scatterbo and Leavitt single-handedly almost won this game for Arizona State. The Arizona State defense is what lost this one. You don't know what you're talking about. Great commentary. Great analysis. Love that. I don't read all the trolls' comments, but the people that are just going to drop the you don't know ball or you don't know what you're talking about, I would have to throw it back to you. How about you actually come with like a real comment and show us what you got? That's all I got to say. Game was rigged. Nah, 4th and 13. 4th and 13. There's no rigging on a wide open Matthew Golden breaking the DB's ankles. There's no rigging there. Don't get it twisted. Texas is not winning a national championship. You don't know. You just don't know. Ohio State, like they look good right now, right? They're up 14-0, 17-0 now. Oregon is 3rd and 8 on their own 43, 17-0 Ohio State over Oregon. Look, I don't know what you can really say that would lead you to believe that Texas is going to get blown out. What could you draw on? What could you cite as evidence that Texas is going to get blown out next week? There's not a lot. Texas is a really good team. I'm not saying or declaring victory right now over Ohio State or Oregon, but I am saying Texas is going to be competitive with just about everybody. I do not believe that they are going to get dog walked, blown out by Oregon or Ohio State. I know that the result today tells you, hey, maybe Texas is vulnerable. They can be beat. They're not going to win a national championship. But I would almost say and take that the other way. Texas just knows how to win games. When the game is on the line, they win it. And I know Oregon and Ohio State are going to be tough opponents. And I know that maybe some people are going to point to the Georgia games as reason why they're not going to win the big one. But look, it's not easy when you get to this time of year in college football. It's not easy. You survive, you advance, you regroup, you game plan for Ohio State or Oregon. I think it's going to be a great game. Not sure what I believe is going to happen quite yet. Of course, you know who I'm cheering for. Of course, you know who I want to win. And I think Texas has a good chance to win in the semifinals. But they've got to be better. The coaching's got to be better. If they give up another fake punt this year, I'm sorry. I don't want to say fire everybody, but I feel that way. Like, stop getting clowned on fourth down deep in opponent territory. It would happen against Georgia in the SEC championship. It happened today against Arizona State. Stop getting clowned on fake punts. They're getting absolutely punked on special teams with these fake punts, and I just don't get it. I know you want to try and block. I know you want to try and get a big play going the other direction. Meanwhile, you're allowing Arizona State to flip field. Georgia, that was probably the play that won them the SEC championship, that fake punt. Yeah, I do agree at this point, Dan. Appreciate the comment. I'm kind of on this page. Cry, ASU, cry about the targeting call. You had a 4th and 13. And look, I know there's a lot of ASU fans that stop by on TikTok and on some of the other socials that were very respectful. Hey, good game. But the people that are just nonstop crying about the targeting, like, for real, please cry more, because 4th and 13 was the moment in this game. 4th and 13, game on the line. That was the moment. Absolutely. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all of y'all who have followed as well. Y'all know at Right On Rangers, we cover everything sports, put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Longhorns, especially the Longhorns during the college football season, during the college football playoff. Please, if you know somebody that's a Horns fan, I know a lot of people have shared the live during our time together today. I want to say thank you. You know a Texas Longhorns fan, please share the account with them. Share one of my videos with them. Share this live right now with them. Let's keep growing this good group of people we got talking Horns, talking college football playoff. I love it. And I am pumped that the Longhorns managed to pull this one off. I thought that they were dead in the water on that 4th and 13. They managed to pull it off. Now, let's see. We got coming up Thursday, January 9th is the Orange Bowl. Texas will play, looks like, on Friday in the Cotton Bowl. That'll be at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Cowboy Stadium, 4:30 p.m. on Friday, January 10th. So we'll be going live on that Friday night. Right after that game's over, we'll be trying to do a little pregame coverage, maybe on Thursday night before that Friday game, or maybe, I don't know. It'll be hard to do it on Friday. So I'll probably do like a Thursday night pregame live to talk about the semifinal matchup with the Longhorns between either Oregon or Ohio State. I would absolutely love nothing more than for Texas finally, after 2 years of getting knocked out, I would love for them to make it all the way to that national championship and have a shot. We'll see. It's going to be tough. Ohio State, Oregon, they are not going to have an easy path at this point, but we'll see what they are able to do in Arlington at AT&T Stadium for the Cotton Bowl Friday, January 10th, 4:30 p.m. out here in Vegas for me, 6:30 Texas time, 7:30 out on the East Coast. Ohio State going to roll right over you. Please. Please. Good game. Appreciate that. Respectfully, do I think my team is good? Yes. I think the Longhorns are a very talented team. How can you watch this team and say they're not talented? They're a very talented team. But at the same time, they have issues closing out ball games. And I will be the first one to throw that out there. We're not trying to put lipstick on a pig. It was ugly in the fourth quarter. It was ugly. You have got to find a way to close out ball games and get kill shots. Arizona State should have lost this game by 3 possessions. This should have been a 3-score game, and Texas cruises to victory. They've got to find a way. And I think it starts with the play calling. Going past after making a stop and being up 24-8, going past made no sense to me. You have got to be running the ball all fourth quarter long. And taking the ball out of Quinn Ewers' hands, not that he didn't have a great game today, not that he's not capable of making big throws, but when you're up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, play the numbers game. Like, please. So Texas got to do a better job closing out games. I know they couldn't run, but at that point, I don't think that it really matters. And you can do so much creative stuff. You can jet sweep it. You can do creative things in the run game. You don't just have to run a halfback dive every single time. You can get creative in the run game. You can throw screens, right? They came out throwing a bomb down the middle of the field. That's my point, right? You can get creative. You can do those high percentage pass plays, screens. You can do those high percentage, jet sweeps. You can do those kinds of things to keep the ball moving and to keep the clock moving. Coming out trying to throw a ball 40 yards downfield on first down and getting picked off, that is a killer. Like, you have at least got to get that clock moving positively before you try and do any kind of kill shot, and it better be a wide open play when you try and do it. Lifelong Texas fan, very lucky we didn't get called for the block in the back on the punt return touchdown. I did notice that as well. Was really surprised. Look, it kind of felt a little bit too like you get those 2 big plays. Texas could have been up 28-3, like 28-3 at halftime. I feel like, again, just not able to get those kill shots. You got to find a way to get better at that. Are we ready for Ohio State? I think Texas is going to play Ohio State really well. I don't think it's going to be a blowout game by any means. Ohio State really, really good. But no, I don't think that Texas is going to get dog walked. I would not be surprised if Texas wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State wins, honestly. I know maybe that's taking the easy way out, but that is how I feel. I think Texas could beat Ohio State easily. I think that it could be a back and forth game that they lose. I could see a number of scenarios. I don't think it is going to be a game where Texas just gets run over, though. Look, targeting call, we've talked about it so much. For those of y'all that have been hanging out forever, I don't want to harp on the targeting call. But if you're going to let the targeting call be the one thing you point to why Arizona State lost, look, you don't deserve to win if a targeting call is what it comes down to. There's no guarantee Arizona State makes that field goal. They had a 4th and 13 in overtime where they could have won the game. I'm not going to go with the targeting narrative that just was the entire reason Arizona State lost. No, thank you. No, thank you. The Arizona State defense not being able to stop 4th and 13 is the reason they lost. Blame the defensive coordinator. Why are you dialing up a house call? Like, they sent the house, and the Texas O-line handled it so well. Quinn had so much time to sit back there, wait for Golden to make his nasty move on the DB, that ankle-breaking move Golden put. Like, put that in the Louvre, frame that. Like, that was a beautiful route by Golden to get wide open. That is the play that Arizona State loses on. 4th and 13. Keep going. Let's keep going here. Big Texas always going to get the call. Look, don't let it come down to it. Don't let it come down to a call like that. And Arizona State, as much as they tried to come back and did a great job clawing their way back into the ball game, you had a 4th and 13 opportunity. You could have won. I didn't think Texas was going to convert that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, I believed we were going to get 4th and 13. I didn't. I was fully expecting to tell y'all, well, that's it. That's it. Good season.
And then Quinn Ewers throws a dot. Matthew Golden breaks some ankles, and we get a wide open touchdown in the end zone. Like, what a season the Longhorns are having. You make it back to the semifinals after losing to Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies last year. Quinn had a chance to win the game last year against Washington. That was crazy. We could have won that game last year against Washington. Little bit better throw and catch at the pylon, and Texas has a chance in the national championship against Michigan. It's pretty wild. So Texas back to the semifinals Friday, January 10th. So they got about 9 days to prep for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't agree, Chuck. Oregon or OSU, they're not crushing Texas. Might beat Texas, but we're not doing crush. Crush, dog walk, annihilate. Those are just things that are not going to be true about that semifinal matchup. Texas is going to play very well against whoever they will be opposed by. I'm not saying they're going to win, but anybody saying they're just going to get obliviated, annihilated, dog walk, can't go there with you. Cannot do it. Appreciate it. Incredible game. Hate to see the refs make it about them. Yeah, look, I think letter of the law, it's targeting. Letter of the law, I do think it's targeting. I do think it's a terrible law. I think it's a terrible rule. There's no dirty play. There's nothing dirty about what Michael Taft did in that play. It's a football play. It's you're going right at the receiver and you go helmet, face mask to face mask contact. That's not targeting. Targeting is designed for dirty plays where you're intentionally trying to go right at the helmet. Michael Taft, I don't think anybody who watches that play thinks Michael Taft is intentionally going at the helmet there. He's breaking down his feet and he doesn't quite get his shoulder down. It's a bang, bang play. It's not a dirty play. Shouldn't be targeting. Should not be targeting at all. I don't think face mask to face mask should be targeting. I think it's got to be strictly crown of the helmet. So I know that some of y'all are arguing like letter of the law. It's not targeting. I'm not going to die on the rule book hill, if you will. It might not have been targeting letter of the law. I'm going to have to read and look at more. But for me, it shouldn't be targeting to begin with. So I will say that at minimum. Let me keep going. All right, y'all. I'm going to try and wrap this up. I've been on for almost an hour and a half. We went live right at probably the 3 or 4 minute mark of the fourth quarter. We did play-by-play with y'all for almost the entire second half of the fourth quarter and into overtime. Gave you my live reaction. It was awesome. I loved it. First time I've done that for a Texas game. Had the audio going. I know some of y'all or some people were upset that I wasn't putting the video on. Look, I'm not trying to get shut down for copyright BS. So I definitely will always do audio, give you some play-by-play. But anytime I throw the video up there, I always end up getting flagged. I'm not trying to get shut down because I'm streaming things live in terms of the ESPN or whatever broadcast it is. So I can get away with the audio at least. So come back, hang out. Maybe I'll try and go live during that semifinal game in the fourth quarter. I don't want to sit the whole game on the live, but I will definitely try and do fourth quarter. I'll try and do a little bit of a pregame as well. I do agree on this one. Brad, Facebook says Texas defense won't allow an annihilation. I do think that the Texas defense is going to keep them in the game. I do think having the home crowd behind you, there's going to be a lot of Horns fans in Arlington at the AT&T Stadium. But look, I do agree with this, though. John says they've looked sluggish in way too many games, but they keep finding ways to win, right? They're surviving and advancing. We can be really, really nitpicky about Texas, and it's a lot easier to do that in a win than a loss. But I agree. You want to see Texas start to close out ball games in the fourth quarter. Get the kill shot. It is way too close with some of these games. This one, especially. 4th and 13. You let it get to 4th and 13 with the season on the line. It just should have never got to that. So I totally agree. Fast Ferrari on YouTube. We got to play a cleaner game. I'm with you on that one. Kendrick, you might still be hanging out, maybe not. That game, the comment says, was way closer than I thought it was going to be. Absolutely. I agree. Way closer than it needed to be. This was probably the best college football playoff game, though, all year long. I think we can all agree on that because it looks like this Oregon-Ohio State game is about to be a blowout. It's 24-0, 9 minutes left in the second quarter, and Ohio State has the ball. This was the best college football game of the CFP, no doubt. Like this was the best, most entertaining game. So thank Texas for that. And I'm just glad that we come away with a win. Appreciate all the follows. Thank you so much. Ohio State's not going to be minus 14. I would think I'm going to call this right now, and I'll eat crow if I'm wrong. I cannot see Ohio State being more than probably a 5 or 6 point favorite. I think it might be Ohio State -4, maybe 4.5. I don't think it's going to be any worse than that. I cannot see Ohio State being over a touchdown favorite. I'll see if there's any kind of odds out right now versus Texas semifinal odds. Let's see what we got. I don't know if you're going to get anything right now at this point. Maybe. So let's see. I'm seeing OSU, Ohio State -2, but this was from 4 hours ago. So as of 4 hours ago, in a potential hypothetical matchup, Ohio State was a 2-point favorite against Texas. Now, will the Arizona State game, the results, sway that a little bit? I could see that, but I don't think that it's going to be more than a touchdown. They will get hammered. The sports books will. If Texas is more than a touchdown favorite, the sports books are going to get hammered. So I'm almost 1,000%. It's going to be under 7. I would think 4, 4.5, maybe 5, but I don't think that it's going to be anything over 7. 31-0 now. Is that what I'm seeing on TikTok? Man, how embarrassing for Oregon and Dan Lanning. Like, that is embarrassing. Now, I didn't want to get into this today, but maybe I should. There's a lot that they need to change when it comes to the college football playoff, in my opinion. I think they're going to end up adding more teams. I think that's inevitable. Money talks. They're going to be adding more teams at some point. I don't see any other way around it. But I will say this. They have got to fix the seeding issue. There's no reason why Arizona State or why Boise State need a bye. If you win the conference championship, good for you. You got in. You don't need a bye, and you don't need to be a high seed. So they've got to fix the seeding issue. Another thing I want to see them fix. I don't think that these quarterfinals games should be on neutral fields. I think that this game that Arizona State earned by winning the Big 12 championship, getting the first round bye, this game should have been played at ASU. I think Oregon should have got a home game. You get a bye, that's great. You got to get a home game in there. So I think they've got to make the quarterfinals games home games. I don't want to see them play neutral field until the semifinal and the championship. Think about what the NFL does. The NFL doesn't play neutral field to the Super Bowl. I want to see more like that. I'd even be okay with the semifinals being played at the home stadium. I would like to see them go to the quarterfinals, home stadium, especially for the teams earning the first round bye. You've got to give those first round bye teams a home game. So that is one thing that I'd like to see change. I think Arizona State would have benefited from a home game. I think Oregon probably would have greatly benefited from a home game. Boise State as well. You play those games at the home stadium of the lower or higher seed, however you want to think about it. And I think that that makes all of the difference. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I do think, though, you've got to play the quarterfinals at home stadiums, neutral field, in either the semifinals and the championship or just in the championship. I think if we learned anything, we learned that the electric environment that was created by letting those first round games be at home was everything that we want to see in a college football playoff game. I know it was for me. I hope that they get it right, make some tweaks for next year. Let's see here. Frankie says, Ewers proved me wrong. Ice in his veins. This is not a day to be a Quinn Ewers hater. This is absolutely not the day. If you're a Quinn Ewers apologist, vehement defender, you need to be out in full force today. And I have had my critiques of Quinn Ewers. He won the game for Texas. Him and Matthew Golden are the reasons why Texas are going to the semifinal to play what's most likely going to be Ohio State. All right. Not scared of Ohio State at all. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Ohio State will be favored, but I do not think that they are going to walk all over Texas. Texas has too much talent. I think it's going to be a great game. Could see it going either way. Let me keep going. This one says, I love Matthew Golden. Bro just makes plays every time you need. Matthew Golden and Quinn Ewers are the players of the game today. Matthew Golden with an absolute ankle break on that 4th and 13 play to tie the game up for Texas. Quinn Ewers and Matthew Golden. Reasons why Texas is going to be playing Ohio State in the semifinal. Let me keep going. All right. I am going to sign off for today. We've had some fun. Look for me next week on Thursday. If you want to talk more college football, I'll probably do a Thursday night college football preview. I believe there is a Thursday night game, right? Thursday night game. It's the Orange Bowl. So right after the Orange Bowl, we'll probably go live. We'll talk the results of the Orange Bowl, and then we'll also do a preview of the Longhorns playoff game on Friday, which is going to be at AT&T Stadium. Looks like starting at about 6:30 Texas time. So that's going to be the plan. I do go live after every Cowboys game as well. So I know that the Dallas Cowboys are not having a great year, but rain or shine, we're here. Win or loss, we're here. So we will be going and covering the last Cowboys NFL game of the season. Then we also do a Texas Rangers offseason show that we'll be getting to tomorrow. So we'll be back actually tomorrow to talk some Texas Rangers. Looking forward to that, going through all the Texas Rangers offseason moves and moves that maybe we want to see them make before it comes to an end and spring training gets started up. So appreciate all y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. I see a couple of people have followed in the last few minutes here and throughout the live today. Thank you. If you know a Texas Longhorns fan, a Texas Rangers fan, a Cowboys fan, please tell them about the channel. Tell them about the account. Again, we'd love to keep growing this good group of people we got. Talking sports, talking ball, talking college football, Texas Longhorns, and everything else. Appreciate all y'all. Happy New Year. Hope you enjoy the rest of the week. Prayers and thoughts to everybody that is in New Orleans affected by the tragedy down there that obviously caused the delays for the Sugar Bowl. That game going to be played tomorrow. Sure hope that everybody that's hurt has a quick recovery, everybody in the hospital. Again, we're praying that they are going to recover 100%. Can't even imagine the tragedy, the loss, unspeakable. So prayers up for everybody down there. That game between Georgia and Notre Dame going to be played tomorrow. As a result, do think that's the right thing. But I do hope that everybody has a blessed New Year and a good rest of the week ahead. We'll see if Ohio State can make it any more interesting. 31-0 now, though. I think that one is just about over. But nevertheless, we will be back tomorrow night to talk Texas Rangers, and we'll talk maybe a little bit of Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia. We'll go through a little bit of everything tomorrow, but emphasis will be on the Rangers. Appreciate all y'all. Have a great rest of the week. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and hook 'em.